here at my hotel, which is in downtown San Francisco right now. Basically, I'm just killing some time. I just got ready. I'm getting ready to go to the ballpark, which I'm all kind of out of sorts right now. As far as I woke up in New York today at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon in San Francisco, which means it's 7 o'clock at night for me. So I'm just kind of like in this weird pattern of adapting to the town. I walked all around this city, which is absolutely beautiful. Of course, smoking a nice sativa joint that I got at one of the local dispensaries. That would be Quiet Kings, or yeah, Quiet Kings here. That was a nice sativa pre-roll. If you notice, that says 30% down there. That was the high octane. And I was on this nice little park, I guess. I was like I said, every corner that you look at in San Francisco is just absolutely breathtaking, or it's like almost worth taking a picture of. And yeah, it really, really good, time. I walked towards the port, which again probably seems like it's like a good area of the city. I stopped at a dive bar. I did the little recording session I did from the Ferris wheel, just again because I thought that'd be kind of like a cool location, and I was trying to distract myself from being afraid of heights while I was on that Ferris wheel, because that was kind of up there, but it's just I had some fun recording that. It seemed like something unique. $18 to go on there. Then I stopped at a random dive bar because that's something I like to do when I'm in these cities. Traveling around from ballpark to ballpark. Don't drink anymore. It would be so much fucking fun if I did, but I would never make it home in time, or I would get myself in a lot of trouble, or probably get beat up or stabbed or something. I just saw this one place that people open door, just had that look of like when you were inside of it. I felt like I had been inside of it before. Of course, I've been in so many goddamn fucking bars. Or maybe the reason I felt like I'd been inside of it before was because there was Buffalo Bills shit hanging up. The one fucking bar I stop in fucking San Francisco, and there's Buffalo Bills shit up there. And then to fucking make things more, I see the Josh Allen stuff, and I thought maybe Josh Allen. I'm wearing Cardinals gear while this is happening. The bartender didn't seem to really care for me too much. The owner or some type, seemed to, kind of be at least somewhat friendly, enjoying that, somebody was buying a beer in his place, and I really just do that to socialize, just maybe for a second or two, but mostly to take a piss and cool off if I've been walking around. Don't know what the mileage I put on was in walking around San Francisco, but I know that I was burning the calories because it's just all hills. You think you walk up a hill and then you're like, oh, cool, maybe it'll flatten up. Then you're walking down a hill. So a nice little mixture there. I'm going to be tomorrow morning. Hey, little birdie, how we doing? Tomorrow morning, I'm actually going to do a little early rising because no matter what, I wake up at like 6:30, 7 o'clock. So I'm going to be waking up. That means that's usually on Eastern time. So when I wake up tomorrow on California time, I'm going to be needing something to do, and I'm going to a ball game in the afternoon. I'm just hanging out in San Francisco, getting ready to go to a ball game, man. Thanks for tuning into this. I don't know how you found me or what you're doing here, but I'm Ryan Schofield, the host of the Scho-Zone. I'm a little bit of a travel vlogger wannabe kind of thing. Just a guy going through a midlife crisis that just goes to a lot of baseball games and, fills some time by filming shit that I think is cool, or sharing my thoughts and experiences if anything happens worthwhile. All right, cool. Someone like this, yeah, subscribe, follow along. I'll be coming at this one. I'd imagine tomorrow I'm going to be going to the Oakland Coliseum. If it wasn't for the fact that they play so much music during a baseball game and I would get copyrighted, I would love to do a podcast live from that. I did one from Camden Yards. Tomorrow, Oakland and the Seattle Mariners will be playing. It's not so much that it's going to be a great game. I'm just want to, wish the stadium farewell, which that's going to be good because it's going to be a day game, so I can wear one outfit to there. Right now, I'm wearing this is ambitious for me. I'm wearing a sweater I haven't worn since I was like super in shape in my 20s. So with all the walking around I did, plus I did a little gym session and hit up the back and shoulders to kind of, fill this one out a little bit. It's going to be like 70 degrees when I go outside, but by the end of the game, it's going to be like 55, and the breeze will be whipping off the bay. So I got to dress prepared for that one. Of course, try to be classy. I have two pairs of khakis. One of them is a pair that I wear golfing because I don't mind if I get them dirty, and the other pair is actually a nice pair. The reason I don't mind if I get the one pair dirty is because I have a little small coffee stain on them. So which pair do you think I packed? Yes, so I thought maybe I would try to look nice tonight, but I'm going to have a giant coffee stain going down my leg on my khaki pants. But, the old expression, you dress them up, you can't take them out. Pretty sure whoever coined that phrase was probably spending a night out with me. And this is even the drunk me. This is just the regular stoner me, but we're going to high potent edibles. Be chewing those down in just a little bit. I'm curious what the strength of the product is. I posted the short earlier, just because I'm trying to put any kind of videos out there. I went to Seattle in 2019, and I remember going to a dispensary there and buying a disposable pen and a little piece of chocolate about yay big. I You can see that when you watch the fucking short on my page, if you subscribe and you want to check it out there. There's Stoned in Seattle's the name of the short. I was so fucking shot from that one. So I'm always curious because edibles, you never really know. I ate one of these that was I'm in New York where we get the shitty 5 milligrams. I mean, I ate fucking 100 milligrams of those earlier. I guess that they did work because when I was on my flight today, my flight from Detroit to San Francisco, sat next to this one guy, and I guess I just can't wait to get that old. This guy had a resting bitch face on him. Probably, if I had to guess, was in his like 50s and 60s. And when he was my age, he probably was a guy I wouldn't want to fuck with. But yeah, he just had a sense of himself where I didn't exist in the seat next to him apparently because he was playing chess on an iPad and just kept fucking. I swear he probably elbowed into me about like 200 times. And what I kind of did to, I never even moved myself. I just kind of made it clear, like, this is where I'm going to be the entire time. And it didn't seem to bother him whatsoever. So my way of getting back at him was probably about 2.5 to 3 hours into the flight. At some point at about the 2.5 hour mark, we'll call it, he decided to put away the iPad and rest his eyes for a little bit. So I didn't even really have to piss that bad at the time, but I made sure to, at about 20 minutes of him doing that, make sure to give him a nudge and go, excuse me, sir, I need to get up to use the bathroom. And I mean, I did, did not have to go, but I did go. And I will say, I think that some of the best pisses I have had in the year of 2024 have been on airplanes, mostly because I drink coffee. But I'm also wondering if anybody is smart enough and knows this, if being up at the altitude that you are when you're in an airplane, the Mile High Club, so to speak, does that like help the pressure? Because suddenly I got my 30-year-old prostate back again, where I can, really let it rip. I mean, you have to watch for the splash coming from there. There's a deep hole in there, and the splash is jumping right wild and up there, but, it didn't make too much of a mess. Anyways, going to the D-backs and the Giants today, first time at Oracle Park, which has always been, it's been a bittersweet thing for me. The Cardinals, I swear, never ever play well there. Some horrifying defeats as well, and some gambling losses too. But I also remember I want to say the 2012 NLCS they lost there. Maybe even 2014 as well too. I just feel like that the Giants always beat the Cardinals on their way to winning a World Series, which that was part of the experience going in that Bills bar. I said something about the Josh Allen thing. They didn't really go. I'm trying to explain to them that I'm like, for me to live from where I lived in Rochester, Western New York area, to then be in a bar 3,000 miles away, and it just happens that Bill stuff was random. The guy actually, so I said something about, appreciate you serving a Cardinals fan because, not exactly the most popular team in town, I'm sure, but it shouldn't matter. The Giants, again, usually beat us. We never cause them any harm. But the guy then says he's a Red Sox fan. He's a Boston guy. And I'm like, oh, well, of course, you're a Boston guy. The team that beats the Cardinals when they do actually get through the NL, when beats them in the World Series twice in my lifetime. So, yeah, $7 for a Corona NA, which, by the way, I almost have to wonder if it was just because I was so out of it from all the walking I did, or if that Corona NA had been sitting there for a while. It may have had a little bit of a punch to it. Hopefully this doesn't mean that anything bad happens. The last thing we need is me getting drunk on the road in this part of the country, because I don't really know where I'm going. But I was able to navigate the city pretty well, and the only thing negative I have to say about San Francisco so far, and again, I probably haven't been to any of the bad areas, it struck me is that I was in some pretty nice areas, but there's a weird smell in this town. Now, when I was down by the port, very, very nice smell, because it smelled like a lot of fried fish kind of thing, or, like a fish fry kind of deal. That smelled awesome. The rest of the city, I wasn't sure when I got off, because, you're on a plane for fucking 5 hours. You never know what you're going to end up smelling like. I couldn't tell since I got on the BART, because, again, the BART, it was a train, so that's publicly used. And just the whole city, it just kind of has this, I I don't want to call it stale urine smell to it, but it's kind of something like that. And I asked somebody else, and apparently that's the city. It's not me because I just got out of a nice shower, and I don't smell it on me right now. I mean, I smell it a little bit in the air, but definitely not me. So that's the only strike you got against you so far, San Francisco. But again, every city that I visited love it the first day. And then as I got a little bit further, I'm gonna see a lot of this place though because again, I'm gonna be up bright and early tomorrow. I'm gonna go to walk the San Francisco Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge, which just even getting there is gonna be a little bit of a hike for me, but I don't mind that because got nothing else to do, and I don't think I mean, people will be sleeping for the most part. I mean, I'm gonna be on New York time and they're gonna be on West Coast time. But I'm feeling that a nice fog rolling over the bridge, smoking a nice doob. That'd be a hell of a way to take in this town, I guess. So I'm about a mile away from the ballpark. I I would just bet the over. I don't have a strong feeling on this one. The Diamondbacks have never faced the pitcher going for the Giants tonight. Harvey Birdsong, I believe is his name. Sounds like a fucking made up name. Sounds like something from a movie. Zach Gallen is going for the Giants or for the D-backs. He's had some. He's a former Cy Young winner, but his last couple starts, it's likely that he gets hit. The over-under on the game is set at 7.5, which I believe it was also set at that last night, and they sailed way over that. Randall Grichuk, who if I'd known, I would have worn my Randall Grichuk jersey, but he's not playing today anyways. But if I'd known that, didn't even occur to me that he was going to be a factor. And then of course he hits 2 home runs yesterday. So I feel like that would have been like the ultimate douche move, wearing a Cardinals jersey of the guy who's playing for a different team that won the game against their team. I don't know how much they care about the Giants around here. They're not really World Series, contenders this year. I don't think. I think they're a couple games, or I think that they're wild card chances. They might even be behind the Cardinals at this point. Cardinals actually played pretty solid last night. I mean, again, it's one of those things where I don't mind them winning. I just want changes to come, and I don't want a strong finish to make them think they got away with something. I mean, as it is, if the Cardinals finish above 500 and they improve by 10 wins from last year, that's going to look really, 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 really good. And I don't want anyone being rewarded for it. I mean, there's some good young players I like, but the old guys, of course, every time I say something negative to somebody about Nolan Arenado, he has a home run that day. I literally could probably time match texts to days he's hit home runs to prove that if I really wanted to. There are friends of mine that could just vouch for me if that be the case. I really hate that I like the idea of not wearing my Cardinals hat tonight, but because I think the hair is looking okay in this outfit right now. I'm not minding the look in this one. I had some female fans from Minneapolis I got there, which again, I'm hoping San Francisco does not turn into another Minneapolis, where I loved Minneapolis when I first got there. I hated it by the time I left. But, I'm sure that a little breather to Oakland is probably going to make San Fran seem pretty charming. Really, really, seeking that one out again. I think that I was when you take the BART from San Francisco, from the airport to I think you go through a rough part of San Francisco, or at least, I don't know if graffiti necessarily means the bad place in California, or if it's artwork. Again, New York, out of the, doing my thing. I will say that I've been still keeping my jaywalking ways going pretty strong, so that's, I want there to be like some type of a sport or event, or the fact that I have never been busted. All right, we got Camden Atwell. Thank you very much. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Scho-Zone. Thank you for tuning in to just a guy just ranting and raving as I go through getting ready to go to the ball game tonight. And again, this is, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is me. I'm a guy who travels from ballpark to ballpark, kind of on a midlife crisis type thing. In fact, that was. You love my videos? Oh, thanks a bunch. Appreciate you. Well, I'm going to be posting some more today, so, spread the word for me. Let me know. I'm hoping to get this thing bigger and better as this is the last trip I'm taking for a while, so I'm going to have to start doing something with this. But on my flights, I watched probably one of the worst movies to watch as a flight movie if you have people around you. I watched the movie American Beauty, which I remember watching as, I won't stop, not at all. I watched the movie American Beauty, which the first time I watched, I was in high school. I want to say I was like a sophomore. It was like right around 2000 or something. So I was a teenager. So I was watching that from the perspective of that I was super attracted to Mina Savari, the love interest, who I believe that she's of age in that movie, plays underage, or I certainly hope so. But That's the thing I have is I was super attracted to her at that age, and then now I'm watching this movie about the 42-year-old guy. Again, I'm 3 years younger than Kevin Spacey's character in that movie is, which also it's fucking Kevin Spacey, which is already dicey, and the idea that Kevin Spacey, who allegedly maybe didn't have to step too far out of character to be interested in a younger Rangers or Astros? I'm an asshole. I don't mind the Astros, but let me finish my point. Actually, Cam, I gotta stop doing that. I always respond to the questions and then lose my rants. I should just bounce back to them because there's not like there's a sea of comments. I'm gonna get lost in there. But you're watching the Kevin Spacey movie, and it's like there's some subtle nudity in there, but again, there's the whole thing of an old man kind of creeping on a younger girl, which is it's not my cup of tea. Trust me, I don't even like. I'm like 35 is probably like the minimum age. Who's going to win the World Series? I just said I wasn't going to do that answer there. I've got the Astros and the Braves, or at least that was the bet that I made. I really like the Astros. They're playing absolutely stellar ball right now. Somehow, starting 8 games below 500 on the season and losing Kyle Tucker, they now have gotten. Since that point in time, they have one of the best records going, and they're going to comfortably win the division. It looks like right now they're like 6 games up, which is I believe the biggest lead in the American League, and they've got some solid pitching going right now. You think the Yankees? I Last night's an example why I don't think the Yankees. You can't trust Clay Holmes. Which again, it's also a thing though is that in the state of Texas, I discovered this last year during the Astros Rangers little race for the division. It's like illegal in the state of Texas to pitch a clean ninth inning, but. No, I think the Astros, the lineup is solid. I mean, Yordan Alvarez is coming together, and it's bye-bye. All right, well, take it easy, bud. Appreciate having you. But yeah, so I was just thinking with that, watching American Beauty, because that's kind of the whole thing is that Kevin Spacey kind of has his epiphany or his midlife crisis in there, and my whole thing is my midlife crisis is like a different one. I'm actually going reverse in this one. What happened with me is that I lived like a child I lived like I was a frat boy from the ages of 18 to 36. So I didn't really make any progress there. So had I been who I am right now, I probably during the 20s probably would have done the married and possibly have kids thing, and I would have fucking imploded, and now I would have been turned into the guy that I was in my previous life. Now what's happening for me is that I'm just kind of I'm just gonna relax and have fun kind of thing, and it's not a big deal. So yeah, and it was just actually there was a special on here. I just overheard like a news story. They were talking about how dining solo was going up. Dining solo is fucking awesome, and you don't have to do any bullshit. Like the thing about dining is that usually that's kind of an activity, or if I'm going on a date, I like the idea of, hey, let's make sure that we're well fed, so that way afterwards we can do all the talking and then all the things that are going to eventually lead to good physical activities maybe at some point in the evening. It's always good to know that you can't use, the hunger thing, or just get that out of the way so people are fed. Or if I go to like the dinner and a movie thing, I always like the idea of going to see the movie so that way maybe you have something to talk about at the dinner, or maybe, you're back. Okay, I'm not sure. Whatever it is, what it is. I think that the first edible's starting to hit me. It is almost 4:20 in the West Coast, so I'm gonna have to let me grab my pen. I'll be right back because all right, yeah. So I'm gonna 4:20. I'll ring this one in, and then I'm gonna get taken off. I've got I'm racist. What did I say that was racist? Tell me, please tell me what I'm racist. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's probably my cue to end when the only person in here watching is going to call me a racist. But that's the internet. It's the worst. That's why this comes with the territory. But I'll be probably getting some shorts from the ball game, and I'll probably post them around. My Apple Watch is fully charged, so that's good to go. So it's 4:20 somewhere. It's 4:20 here. So tune in, and tomorrow is going to be the opening of the NFL. I made the bet. I think that Lamar Jackson's going to have a rushing touchdown tomorrow. That's on a DraftKings promo that I'm doing, which, by the way, if you want to compete with me, I'm in the $50 micro contest. That's the pick 'em throughout the year. I think it's $15,000 to the winner. for that one. I'm not saying I'm going to win it, but if I can come in the money again this year, that would be ideal. And if anybody wants to put their money where their mouth is and we have a little side action pot, that would always be fun. Or if you want to invite me into my betting group, again, look at my story that I posted earlier, my little NFL tips, tricks and tips for the betting thing. I've got my username for DraftKings on there. It's rsco525. But I'll be at the ballpark in a little while, so I will see you guys later on.